which means with the top coat, this could happen again. So I have a ton of work to fix all this. It's kind of a nightmare, really. All right, welcome back to part 2 of epoxy floors from a DIY guy who has never done it before and really has no idea what he's getting. Well, I have an idea now after prepping these floors. If you saw the last video, you can see it kind of was a nightmare a little bit, but doable. So let's get into this video. I'm going to show you guys the whole process of laying down this epoxy floor. That includes a primer base epoxy, a mid coat. We're doing a white metallic, kind of going for that marble look with a little black swirls in it. And I'll show you all the tools here that we've got to get this project started. Today we're going to be putting down that first layer of epoxy and then letting that cure out before the mid coat cure. Top coat is a gloss coat, so it should brighten up the basement here. We've got the nice gray walls with black ceilings, and it'll be a very bright floor, so it should look pretty cool. Let's check out what we're using to get this job done. All right, in video number 1, I showed you all the chemicals. These are kind of the tools. I bought this kit off of Amazon. I will link it down below. Basically, you've got the squeegee with the adjustable teeth here. So this piece slides into here and it helps lay out your epoxy so that you get the right height. This stuff flows out really well, so it'll self-level. It can get air pockets and bubbles, which is why we've got these rollers here. They've got little like pokey pointers sticking out, and that will roll over and pop any of those air bubbles, I guess. And then we've got spike shoes. So this is what we'll wear when we've got the layer of epoxy down on the floor and we need to go get into it to roll it out and not leave footprints or track paint everywhere. I bought a bunch of cheap rollers and the packs here. So before we use these, we will tape them off and rip them off just to make sure they are lint free. And then I'm hoping we can squeegee most of it out, roll it, pop it, and we're done. That's the goal. We got a bunch of these buckets here too, and a couple of mixers. What we're going to try and do, this is our primer. So this whole area out here is going to be coated. Everything, we're going to start in that wall and work our way through. It's kind of crappy because I don't have a lot of area where I can mix and I don't want to be up on carpet. So we're going to mix in the middle, which is going to complicate things. So I may leave this little last section here. And so we'll kind of do that room, move into there. But I can't really do that because I want to keep wet on wet the edges as we go, because it's a one-man show and this is a lot of floor to do by yourself. And then we'll work one direction to the other. I need all the prayers I can get on this project. So we've got 4 kits of this Epoxy 40 UV Super We've got this Epoxy 40 UV epoxy resin and hardener. It's a 3-gallon kit. We have 4 kits. They will go in the buckets. But what I want to do first is I've mapped out all the square footage. We're going to grab the green tape and I'm going to put a mark on the wall left and right to show about how far a kit should go so that I know exactly how far I am and I don't run out by the time I get to the back wall. So this stuff I don't think you put down as thick, so we'll find out. I'm going to do some math here real quick and then we'll tape off the walls. All right, so every kit, according to the manufacturer, is supposed to go about 150 square feet. So we've measured these out into sections. They're a little bit less than 150 because we have more supply than we need, and that's to help us, 1, not run out, and 2, any little imperfections we're gonna try and fill. I don't know how it's gonna work. So we've got 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3 gallon. You can see the tape on the wall separating them. 4 gallon, and then this gets a little funky. 5 gallon. This is going to be like 6 gallon into the door area here. And then each bedroom is 120 square feet. So I called it a gallon. And then into the bathroom a little bit, a gallon, but we'll have an extra, I think we're at, how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 1 kit that will be left, supposedly. We're finally gonna stop stalling and start mixing. A little bit, but you've got like all these little pinholes. So typically when I've watched videos, they'll run a ribbon back and forth like that. I'm gonna go and hit all of my seams with a ribbon, and then we'll fill in the middles and roll it all out. That way it has time to sit and soak down into there. And then by the time we roll it, hopefully it's leveled out a little bit. So to do this, we're gonna open up 2 Part A's, put them in a bucket, mix them up, add in the Part B, mix it up, dump it into another bucket, and pour out of that bucket. From what I understand, that helps make sure that you don't have anything that's not fully mixed. Because if you don't get this stuff properly mixed and you get something that's heavier on the A than the B, it will not harden up. So that will leave all that clean into the walls there. This will be fresh product that will pour that we know is 100% mixed, and we'll just keep using the 2 bucket system. We don't really need this third one. I just brought it in case. And I do have extra buckets if like that one gets too gross and sticky or something. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I've never used it. I don't even know the shelf life on it and how long I have to work. So we're gonna get all these tools out of here. I'm gonna walk through the whole place one more time, make sure I have everything how I want it, because once we start coating, we're not gonna stop till it's done. All right, wish me luck. Not feeling great about this. This somehow has to go all the way back behind the pool table. This 3 gallons. Yeah, there's no fucking way. No fucking way. That sucked really bad. I think I got it to lay out fairly even. I can definitely see some light spots, but it does kind of self-level, which is nice. I don't have much time to waste, so I'm not going to record the rest of this, but I'll show you the final product when I'm done. I've still got to figure out how the hell I'm going to back myself out of this and still be able to clean everything without spike shoes. I'm going to have to figure out how to get those shoes to fit. All right. Clearly the 10-minute application time is not close at all. It's more like a 50-minute application time. So we were sitting at 1 hour on the dot for that first batch. So 3 gallons, 1 hour. It did go pretty much as far as it said it would. So I'm happy with that. I've just got to get a little bit more patient. Pour down ribbons, roll it out. Pour down ribbons, roll it out, rather than flooding the floor and trapping myself in there. So that's what I'm gonna do with this next batch. And you learn the hard way, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta try it, figure it out, correct. We have now done 2 of the 4, that whole room. You can see that crack. It's not great. Don't be me, fill them in. It'll look so much better. And we've got the bathroom done. We're gonna hit the bedrooms next, which will be about, man, I think 1 bucket will do it. This stuff's going on pretty thick. It's hard to tell on the camera, but I'm guessing they're 120, oh yeah, easily. It's 120 square feet, so that's 2 gallons. So we'll have basically the whole area done with 3 of the kits. So we'll probably have an extra kit because this is a primer. You've probably noticed I haven't hit the walls that great. None of this room is trimmed out, so I don't really care if it gets right up there or not. There's gonna be a baseboard on there that comes out, and obviously these walls aren't even drywalled or trimmed out, so there's gonna be quite a bit more out when we're done with that. But yeah, it's going better. That went better. Pour your bucket out in sections. This stuff has a very nice long work time. What time is it? Yep, it took almost another hour. So 50 minutes, I got a little bit quicker with it. All right, that first layer is down. I think it went down okay. Obviously we got some of the cracks and stuff that are gonna show up. I try to get as much to flow in there as possible. The other issue is there's a lot, like no matter how well you clean it, you're gonna find debris. So every time I found a little bit of debris, I try to pick it up, but there's still a bunch in it. We'll see how bad it looks. If it's really bad, we'll just sand it down real quick, wipe up the dust, and then do our next coat. So that's where we're gonna pick up. We're gonna let this dry for 24 hours. I'll be back at it tomorrow. It's about noon, so it took me a little longer than I thought it would, but that's fine. We went through all but 1.5 gallons. So we used all of the last kit minus a half. So we're gonna keep that in case we need to do any touch-ups. It's a nice white epoxy, so if we need to touch up around the pool table or if we have chunks that pop or something like that, that will be a backup for us. So we're gonna keep that, see how the floor turns out, and then we'll touch it up if we need to. Next up, metallic mid coat with black. I don't know how this is gonna work, we'll see. All right guys, it's the next day and I was getting a little worried because after 9 hours, the floor was still very much not solid. And then I came down the stairs and I looked and I was like, oh crap. I'll show you what I mean. So from here, you can kind of see a couple little spots there. And then some speckles, which not unexpected, more out there. This room is what really threw me. Look at all of these air pockets. Like, just tons of them. It's kind of like the bubble wrap, basically. So basically what I think is happening is there's little pinholes in the concrete. And so when that epoxy went over it, it trapped air in it, because you can see where it like popped out normally, but that's bare concrete in there, which means with the top coat, this could happen again. So I have a ton of work to fix all this. It's kind of a nightmare, really. I'm gonna get my sander out. I don't know if we just have shitty concrete or what. And then there's some little like nubs and stuff. So this is hard-ish, but it's still kind of sticky. So we're gonna let it dry. From what I read, the best way to move forward is to sand it flat so you get rid of that crater, and then drop some super glue in there, and that will seal up those pockets and prevent your top coat from doing the exact same thing. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. It's just crazy. There's just so many of them. They're kind of fun to pop. I bet my kids would like to come down here and pop them. You know, stepping back, it looks fine, but it's crazy how many popped up. The other issues I had are light spots. You can see the cement through them, so you can kind of see little light. It's lighter through here. I don't know how much of this will show up on camera over here. See the streaking? It was super hard to tell when I was rolling it out because it didn't look like that. So, and like it's heavy right here and a line there. Super light, super light, super light, especially back here where I started. I had no idea what I was looking for. So, one, I didn't have the proper tools. I should not have bought that kit off of Amazon. I should have just bought it from the store. Two, I don't feel like my supplier actually gave me any good advice whatsoever on how to put this down, because I do have these rollers with the pins that you could come back wearing the shoes and roll, and it basically just pops the holes, the bubbles for you, so that it sits down flush. So I kind of feel like had I done that, it might have saved me a ton of work. I'm basically gonna have to sand this whole floor. After a 24-hour period, you have to rough it up anyways. It's kind of like any other painting project. You need the grip. If it all just looked like this, it would have been perfect. So I'm gonna run to Menards, buy a ton of super glue. I'm gonna buy a drywall sander, and I'm gonna come back and get on my hands and knees and try and sand out as much of this as I can, fill them in with super glue. And then probably tomorrow, because I'm guessing I won't have time today, we'll do the epoxy coat. And then I'll probably have to scuff it all up again and put the top coat on, because I'm gonna be gone for a week. And you can see like the high and low spots here too. This is just crazy. All right, that's what you get for being an amateur, I suppose. All right, we've got our Arbor Freight DA sander. This thing actually works tremendously well. Went got some super glue. This stuff sets up in like, I don't even know. It's really fast. It's like 30 seconds. So we're just gonna go through. These are like low spots. So if I see a low spot, I'm gonna fill it with super glue. If I see a bubble like this, We're gonna sand down that edge, so I'll show you that real quick. Hopefully the stuff's set up enough. What? Gotta connect the battery all the way. So there you can see the top of it's all gone. Then we'll just fill in that dot with some super glue, and then we're gonna hit all of these little, so there's epoxy and all those, and they're sealed, but like that one's not. So that's what we're gonna do. It's probably gonna take me hours. I'm so excited. All right, so we've got all of the craters basically sanded down. I'm just getting the big debris off the floor. This vacuum actually works pretty damn good. We're gonna go ahead, get all this swept up, and then come back and fill all the holes with super glue. And then we'll let that dry for about 4 to 5 hours. I probably won't touch the floor again until tomorrow morning. And when we do that, we'll come back and we're gonna sand it down one more time just to knock all that super glue down, and then scuff up the rest of the floor, because now it will be over 24 hours since I poured, which means you have to scuff up the floor to make sure that your next layer adheres. And that'll also give us a chance to level that super glue out. And then if we find any more spots like that we missed, we can get those at that time as well. It was a lot. I've been working on grinding this for about 3 hours now, or sanding it. So yeah, I'm over this project. All right, we are now, I don't even know, it's like 12:30. So another 4 hours into this basement. I bet this is turning into like a 40-hour work week, this whole basement project is. Went through, sanded out all the blisters, filled them all in with this super glue. I've gone through just about 3 of these. We're gonna let all the super glue dry. It sets up in 30 seconds, but it takes 4 hours to fully dry. So we're gonna let it dry. I'm gonna go get some work done up in my building, and then I gotta come home, go to my daughter's football game. She's on the dance team. And so I won't get anything else done today. Tomorrow morning I'll get up and I'll sand the whole thing by hand. We'll clean it, and I'll get the mid coat down, which is what you're gonna really wanna see, because that's gonna be when it looks really cool. And then we'll top coat it Sunday sometime before I leave for Fab Tech. So yeah, got a lot to do. We are finally ready for the mid coat. We spent hours and hours sanding, filling, and prepping the floors, as you saw. I've got my helper down here mixing buckets for me. So this is our pigment going in, our metallic. So this is our mid coat metallic. It's a very pearlescent color. We're gonna show you mixing a bucket real quick. And then I've kind of gone through and already divvied up the room. We're gonna try and be a little bit better about our pour. I should be better because I have a helper now. Pouring 1,500 feet by yourself is a struggle, no doubt. So definitely don't be that guy and ask for help. So we're pre-mixing all these because it takes quite a bit of time to get all that metallic worked into it. And then we'll add the hardener as we go. So she'll be mixing in the hardener, and I'll be grabbing the buckets. This stuff, marble wrap, does have, like, I think it says 100 or 110 minutes of work time. So we should be able to do this whole floor in that time. We're gonna do this pearl white, and then we're gonna come in with a darker, like a graphite, and do some swirly stuff in it. We'll see. I don't know how it's gonna go. But yeah, let's get in. So we're just gonna pre-mix up this a little bit. There's some metallic still on her mixer. That's why you're seeing that. It looks kind of cool. This is what we're putting in there, Snowdrift Metal Essence Metallics from Cohills Pro Series. You gotta put it in.
Can't open it.
I can't either. Hold this. All right, we're ready to add it. We tried it all different ways, but I kind of find it makes the least amount of mess if I don't do that. We're just shaking the whole thing in there. So we've got all these buckets ready to go. We have one more to mix of this color before we start adding the hardener. And then this is our hardener all lined up here. We're gonna pre-open all that, get it ready for her. So all she has to do is dump it. And then we've got our dark, what is this? Dark Matter from Wrap Dust. That's gonna go in this last one. And we might mix that up about halfway through so that we can start drizzling it through the pattern. Like I said, I've never done this before, so we're kind of learning on the fly. Come in closer. Hoping it wouldn't be. Man, you can tell where the low spots are though. Not what I expected, is it? What you expected?
No.
It's really translucent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really wish I would have got a better base coat down.
didn't.
You just ruined that video.
No, I didn't. They can see you now.
They can see me now?
Yep.
After you're done twerking for 2 minutes because I wasn't paying attention to you?
Yep.
Oh, man. Light spots and
Oh, with this layer?
yeah.
Fine. That's what the furniture is for.
We are about ready to mix this black in, and I'm just gonna kind of swirl it, like bring it in, mix it up. I might have waited a little bit long on it. This is setting up pretty good already. Just get some marbling effects. So we're gonna mix that all in. I'll show you afterwards because this is extremely hard to do with one hand, as I'm sure you're aware. All right, guys, I suck at life, got super stressed out, and did not finish recording the floor. We've actually moved everything back. It's been 2 weeks now, maybe 3. This is what the marbling looked like. We went and bought this rug to kind of match it, got our furniture back in. Make sure you cover your furniture really well. There is glitter all over this now. Treadmill's having some issues there. But yeah, what happened was when I put this black down, I kind of pushed it around to try and spread it out because that black was really heavy. It ended up working out okay. It looks really good. It hit all my light spots. You can kind of see the streaks there because I rolled it left to right after I did that to try and blend it in more. The problem we had is the life on that bucket, that's like smears from my kids' feet. The lifespan before it hardened up was shorter than what I thought it would be. We stopped there. The bucket hardened up while I did the floor here, and this is what it looks like now. So literally the bedrooms in this room are white. That's got the marble effect. And when I went to get the bucket, it was rock hard. So that's dirt. Don't worry about that. So these rooms are all white. That's my daughter's dance room. I need to get the rooms finished. There, you can still see, those are some of the spots that I had to fix because you can actually see the concrete through it. Because this mid coat is a metallic coat, so it's not a solid tone. This is a little bit upsetting, but it is what it is. It's the first time I ever did it. You can see it in here too. This whole floor will actually be covered with mats for my daughter's dance room. This will be an office, so there'll be a desk and a rug in here. So again, I'm not overly worried about any of it, like that stuff there. And worst case scenario, we just put some wood flooring in if we don't like it after a while, right? You could wood floor all the way out to there and call it a room. Wouldn't be a big deal. Now what this dirt is, and you can see it here, this is sticky because it didn't fully get mixed. So The last little bit of, and there were some spots. That's actually just dirty now. That's not sticky. That's a little sticky right there. So if you don't get it fully mixed, scrape your sides, you'll get sticky spots that do not fully cure, and that's cat litter because my dog keeps getting in there. It will fully or not fully cure, and you'll get soft spots. And you can use a mineral spirit to clean it up, but like you see here, it's back down to that base coat. So lots of things went wrong. We're going to look the other way and ignore it. We're going to get a big rug to cover this area. There will be a bar built out here. Let me zoom out. There'll be a bar built out here, fridge, cabinet. So a lot of this floor is going to be hidden. Like I said, if I get really upset and I'm like, this sucks, we'll go from that wall straight over and we'll do wood flooring, which we still have a ton of. It's just kind of what we want to do from this point. I am really happy with that. And I am super upset that we weren't able to continue it. I only had one kit and one color for the entire basement. And I wish I would have done them half and half. Hindsight, don't let this become your mistake. But otherwise, I love it. I think it looks great. Minus my mess up there, which is a big mess up, granted, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys learned from my mistakes so that if you decide to do it, you don't have the issues. Like I said, jack of all, master of none. We'll catch you guys on the next one.